Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you all. This is yours truly, Teresa Talks, the professional life coach who has been created by God. I come to you on this Wednesday morning after walking and also before clocking in for work. I come to you all to speak with you all in reference to two things that has taken place in all of our life at one point of time. And those two things had a tint to them. And the two tints that I'm going to talk about on this morning is the first color that came up when the video came on. And that was a tint of darkness. And the next tint that I'm going to talk about is the tint of life, which is light. So on this morning, yours truly, Teresa, the professional life coach, coming to you to talk with you briefly in reference to those two categories. If you can remember back when you felt as if you was in a dark place in your life, and in that dark place, it was so much pain, so much hurt, so much confusion, so much disappointment, so much, I really don't know why I'm in this state, so much stress and so much depression, and also so much disbelief. I'm encouraging you all today because guess what? I have been in that place at one point in time in my life. I was in a place when there was nothing but darkness. And when there was nothing but darkness, it was so much was feeding my mind. And it was so many different dark visions that I was seeing in my view. And not only in my view, I was seeing them in my dreams. I have had so many dark dreams that as of today, I would never want to remember them no longer. But guess what? When I was in that place of darkness, I had to reach out, reach up, and take God by his hands. I'm encouraging you all on this day. There may be someone out there that has been placed at one point in time in that dark place of life. And when you was in that dark place of life, you prayed, you talked with God, you asked for prayer, you asked God to deliver you, to take you out of this position, to save you, to sanctify you, baptize you, and fill you with the Holy Ghost, which is the keeping power. And as you kept talking with God and believing and trusting that God was going to do that, next thing you know, that darkness started to lift up with another tint. And that was a tint of gray. Then the gray started getting lighter. And then the lighter started getting bright. And the bright came out to be what it is today, the light, the sun that is shining in your life. So what God done when you called on him and prayed and asked for prayer and explained to God what you wanted, which he already knew what you needed, but just knowing that you confessed with your heart that he can do it for you, and he did just that. And when God did that you made a promise to him. And when you made that promise to God, God fixed those situations. There was no more confusion. There was no more pressure. There was no more stress. There was no more pain. There was no more ball of confusions and disbeliefs that you had at that moment, because God lifted it off of you. So where I am coming from today as an encourager, I am encouraging you to weigh the options. I want you to think about that dark block that you was in at one point in time, and think about how God moved you into the light. And when you got into the light, you had so much joy. You had so much peace. You had so much happiness. You had so much understanding. You had so much that you wanted to just give advice, give love, share things, all of those good things. Be respectful. So what I am doing on this morning to encourage you all, I want you to think about those things. Think about when you was in that box, that dark box, that dark hole, that dark life of confusion, and how God reached down and grabbed you by your hands and pulled you out. Think about that. So what I'm doing on today, as yours truly, Teresa Talks, the professional life coach who has been created by God, I'm coming to you to encourage you. It's to think about where God brought you from. And think about how easy you can fall right back into that dark hole. So I'm encouraging you on this morning. Don't let tricks, don't let traps, don't let beautifulness, don't let handsomeness, don't let what may sound good to you, don't let what may looks good to you pull you back into that hole. If God had blessed you in a marriage, love your wife, love your husband. If God had blessed you into a relationship that you know that man and that woman is good to you, embrace it. Don't let the green grass that you may see on the other side trick your mind. That is the part of a trap. And while we are going through all of this stuff in the world on today, we don't have time for any extra confusion. I'm encouraging somebody. So on today, yours truly, Teresa, who love you, who want to encourage you to keep growing in life, keep stepping up the ladder in life, keep shining in life with God being in the midst of your life. I love you all. Be encouraged. Think about the dark days and think about how God reached down and pulled you out. And think about the promises that you made to God. Guess what? We all have made mistakes. But God will forgive you for those mistakes. It is time for us to get it right. Because we never know when it's going to be our last day. I was walking this morning and God placed this in my heart and in my mind. And you know I have to share things because I really don't know who are going through or who may need some encouragement. But if I can only encourage one person, I have done what God has placed me on earth to do. But I have gotten phone calls from DC, Maryland, Charlotte, Virginia, Wilson, Raleigh, Durham, Cary, stating that they listens to me. But like I tell you all in so many videos, when God give me something to say that can help you all along the way, I'm going to do just that. So on today, yours truly, Teresa Talks, the professional life coach who has been created by God. I just wanted to stop today just to encourage you all, to let you know, no matter what you may have done in this life, No matter what mistakes you may have made in this life, remember that God is a forgiving God. But there's one thing that God do not want us to do, and that is to tempt him. When you know you're going to do wrong, that's a tempt. But when you make a mistake and know that you was not making that mistake, that is not a tempt to God. So on today, yours truly, Teresa Talks, just wanted to encourage you to think a little deep before any actions that you take in life. Because sometimes we can make some mistakes that is very hard to get out of. Sometimes it can be cause of our body, of sickness, of our minds, of confusion, of our hearts, of brokenness. So I'm coming to you on this morning to encourage you is to always put God in everything that you do before you do it. And when you do that, guess what? You will not go wrong. I love you. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Enjoy this Wednesday. Enjoy the sunshine that is shining, because that lets you know that God is still with us. I love you. Be blessed. No matter what you do in this world or in the remaining of your life, continue to be yourself